Hey guys, today we're going to look at the Prophecy Loader by Empire. As always, before you start, make sure you read and understand your product manual and follow any safety guidelines included in there. While we're taking this apart and looking at the individual parts, we're also going to install the new aluminum feed neck and the new drive belt. First thing to do is take off the nose cone, button on top, button on bottom, push them together, it'll slide apart. Next, take out the lid, just kind of split the halves, you'll get it apart. There's also a lid spring in there. It does have magnet return, so it's your choice if you want to use that when you put it back together. I always stick it to the magnet so I don't lose it on the lid though. Next, take out the board cover, the tab on the back here, push down, pop out, and then you want to take your two halves off, buttons on the bottom, push and hold, and they'll slide off. There's your right half. Take your neck insert out, push the button on the other side, other half slides off, and there you've got the lower assembly. If you want to replace the batteries, you may or may not have to take the deck off. Just pop it open there, replace your batteries. If you want to continue taking it apart, there's two more tabs on each side there. Push them together and it'll lift off. There's also a tab on front, but we loosened that to get the batteries out. Your guide will slide out. And then you'll need a pick or a small screwdriver to remove the C-clip. And then you can get your magnets the rest of the way off. And there are bearings on both sides of that. They should stay in there, but sometimes they fall out. Just keep track of those. Your magnets won't fall out. They should be pressed in, so you shouldn't have to worry about any of that. Now if you want to take, remember we're going to replace the belt on this one as well. And if you have any board problems or any paint underneath your raceway here, getting on your board, you want to clean it, anything like that, do that. Unplug your motor first. There's 3 tabs that hold it on. Just push from the bottom and lift. And it will come off. There's the pin that the pulley actually rides on. It may or may not stay in the top here. This one's in pretty securely, so we're just going to leave it there. Take your pulley out. There's the old belt as compared to the new belt. Set the old one aside. If you want to take out your rip drive, again it's got a C-clip on it. Just get it started from the bottom, pop that off. Drive wheel comes off, you break that. It's real simple to get it off. Now we've got 2 bearings that came off on the drive wheel here. One's in the bottom, and again they may or may not stay in there, and the other one goes in the bottom of the raceway here. So that's out. And then if you want to replace your board, these 2 tabs of the 3 hold on again, press them in from the bottom and lift out, and it's all the way out. You do have a couple more pieces, springs and carriers in here. Really, you don't need to mess with them unless you broke like this tab off the backbone or something, and you just got the backbone. If you're going to reassemble it, they come in and out just like that from the bottom. There's the spring. You can do it a couple different ways. I always hold it with the spring on the bottom side, and then slide the carrier in underneath, and then just push it with my fingers. Oops, get the spring in there. Push it with my, kind of guide it with my fingers underneath there so that it slides all back together. And there you go. That's the assembly. We'll put it back together here real quick. There are pins here that the board will actually sit on. Just like that. Go ahead and put our drive wheel back in. Our rip drive, since we're here. And when you put your C-clip back on, you want to come at it from the long side so that the ends have something to grip there. And then just push it on with your pick. It'll snap into place just like that. Okay, now your new belt is actually going to go on pretty easy because it's going to slide right onto that wheel. That's going to hold it in place while you install the motor. Just get it lined up with the gears there. Grab your raceway, and we want to make sure that that pin slides into the pulley there, and that the raceway fits into the center of the backbone. And it'll sit kind of nice and flush there. Now we have to reattach the tabs. I start with the front one here. Just rotate it around. I always end up with this one last because it doesn't hold the board anywhere, so you have a little bit more slack in it. And that'll all snap down into place just like that. Now for hooking up the belt here, we're going to take our pick and just hook the belt, bring it over the support, get it down past the motor, and then grab it again and loop it, loop it on. Come on. Loop it on like that. There we go. And start putting our pieces back together here. Anytime you put it together, I always make sure everything's sliding nice and freely. That makes sure that you're halfway doing it right at least. If it's binding up at all, then it's not going to work out later for you. Oops, put your C-clip on there, and remember, slide it in from the long side here. Get it started with your finger, pick again. You can also use a small flat-bladed screwdriver for this. Anything that you can get into the edges there with. Got it hooked. It's going to have tension, so we got the magnets right. Pop the carrier back on here. Just have to get it lined up with the shaft, and it's good to go. And again, it's free and loose, and we have back tension, and the magnets are going to slip. So looks like we're doing good there. Put our guide back in, slide into the backbone. There's a tab here on the raceway. Should catch right there. Good to go. Go ahead and put our battery pack back in. Actually, we'll wait. We'll put our deck here on, and that way you can see how there's a ridge here in the guide and one here on the deck. That should slide back together, and those pieces are going to hold each other together. And just leave that front one loose, and then take your battery pack. You can do it from either side, it doesn't matter. Slide it in. Now you are going to have a couple of tabs right here on the back, and they like to catch on your battery case here. Just make sure you get underneath of them and that you've got nice slack movement, and your wires are not pinched anywhere. And then click your front tab in. Alright. Go ahead and put our sides on. Slide it together here. Now you want to make sure that you get the ridge on your body half here on top of the raceway. It's going to be a little bit difficult because you do have that spring pressure on the back, so I'm holding it with my finger. Sorry, I'm going to get back in the camera here. Holding it with my finger, slide it on, and it'll kind of click into place like that. Should line up real nice with your deck here on the side as well. When you're doing the aluminum one, it's a little bit thicker than the plastic one, so it's got a little less clearance to it. So I slide it in there before I start putting the other half on. Grab the other half, get it started over the board here, like that, and then flip it around. Where's way? Neck insert came out there. Alright, and again I'm watching the ridge on the inside here that is down underneath, or sorry, on top of the raceway, and pushing with basically my thumb and my finger, holding in place with a neck insert. You kind of got a lot of things going on here. It'll probably take you a couple times to get everything lined up if you haven't done it before, but once you do, it'll snap right into place. There you go. Now for putting on we'll do the battery, or the board cover here. Just clicks in the front there, slide over, push down on the tab, and it'll lock right into place like that. Take your lid spring, insert it with the 90-degree angle side first, and you're going to have to kind of hold it with your finger when you slide it in because it's going to want to pop out and onto that magnet. So I hold it right there with my finger, take your lid, and just catch it. Catch that spring with the lid before you put the lid actually in, and snap it into place. Take our nose here and slide it back together. Snap back together. Again, check it, moves free. Spin it with the rip drive here. Spin it on the inside. It's going to be good to go. There you go. That's a look at the Empire Prophecy torn all the way down at the individual parts that are available on the site there. And then we also installed that aluminum neck and the new drive belt. There you go, guys. Thanks for watching.